Yeah, please. Ah? What is the issue? Put switch off this fan. Thank you. Why you say array as that we all come here and speak? So why array as now? What happened? Tomorrow you don't want to stay home, right? Who's coming to torture your life?
Early and for a math.
Sorry?
I was having a maths tomorrow.
Oh, lovely. So you can go
I cancelled it because I thought there was class tomorrow.
I think you check your timetable now. Yeah. Please don't to check your timetable now. I can reschedule it. Don't worry. You want me to reschedule and reschedule it.
No, ma'am, it is okay, ma'am.
Then anyway, I'm tortured because your course gets over and then I have to email communicated. Today ICSE will get over. So I'll be at least somewhere or the other, someday course tomorrow getting over there.
Black.
18 months.
Black.
Your course is over. Means most of your course is there this day. Did you take permission to end the answer? And then we stole it. And why are we coming so late?
You are 4 minutes late.
Okay.
4 minutes late.
Password.
Password. Berlin Raj at the
Yogesh was here. Exactly, the daring person and the number.
11 भी होगा. Password. Warm.
Nah. Why did you turn up today? If you stayed more for 1 week absent, it would be so happy.
Now exam is now.
Other 3 weeks exam was there.
It's only English का वाक्य बनने को.
That's why we turned up. Don't do that. You know I get irritated.
and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are we doing today?
Poem. For
The proposal.
For and Gregory.
No. Ma'am, tomorrow we don't have duty.
Tomorrow you don't have English also.
That's not French. Test है. Like English lecture नहीं है. कौन सी test है?
I'm not going to.
होगा.
पिछले क्लास में आधा वाला लाइक
नहीं होगा.
होगा.
Alright. This poem is a conversation piece. Maybe the poet, maybe the speaker, maybe the narrator, and a girl. Why are we looking so distressed in life? You.
Because I'm a bit sick. I didn't take my English.
Looking so distressed. Anyway, so this is a conversation. Now, when you talk about, you look at somebody, okay? Especially now I'm talking about your age group. You like somebody, okay?
Ma'am, what do you think of the angle text to be on?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what do you think of it? If I could have what I would have. It's as simple as that. If I believed in physical violence, imagine what I will do with each one of you. Alright, coming back to the conversation which you are going to have, if you look at close that. Seriously close it. Keep it down. Keep your hands on the top. Keep it down and close it. Yeah, keep something inside and close it. Now in 10 minutes simple conversation, and basically you are at this age where anyway nowadays there's no age. You know kindergarten has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So I'm not getting. But what do you look for that in a person? First thing, what you look. Why are you attracted to the person?
Good personality.
Good
According to
personality.
the poem, looks.
Yes, looks. First you do is looks.
Notice.
Yeah, but do you think in life looks last?
No.
Why do you think in olden days when you had arranged marriages, why did the arranged marriage last for so long?
Personality.
And in olden days, you know that they never used to see each other before marriage. If you
Yes.
remember. Sudesh Lahiri, you know. Sudesh Lahiri, the Kapil Sharma show, this one. Or this one, Laughter Chefs, they have that one, Mia's. He's a comedian, right? Sudesh Lahiri is
Can you show
Krishna,
photo?
you know.
Picture.
Yes, Krishna, you know. Krishna's partner. Anyway. So see,
Krishna Patil.
he got married,
What?
comedy circus, all that.
Adonai.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll have to show you photos.
Survey.
No, because you will be able to relate this better if you know that person actually. I think his name is Sudesh Lahiri.
Hi, uncle.
Ye uncle. Uncle, now you know this uncle?
Yeah.
Now,
No.
this uncle got married when he was 17 years old and his wife was 15 years old.
It was arranged marriage.
It was an arranged marriage.
Crazy.
Now, real life story. Oi! Real life story.
Yes.
She was in a relatives only. It was not that it was not related. But before marriage, they were not allowed to talk. Before marriage, they were like hardly they didn't speak with each other. The day he decided, okay, I want to get married, the same day in 2 hours they got married. That is the story. Okay. But the thing is what? Why do you think that marriages, like arranged marriages like that last after now he's married to his wife? It's not that, it's like he got married at the age of 17, she was 50. So they're still married and they have kids and all that. You have your grandparents who have no married maybe and they were married till they died. Correct? But why do you think that lasts?
Because of society pressure.
Is it because society pressure?
No, it's like if they do end up having, if they end up divorcing, it's like people would judge. So maybe in that fear, the marriage lasts.
Do you think all marriages are because of society
But
pressure?
other marriages would be because if they end up falling in love with the personality of the person instead of the gestures, instead of the looks.
So my point exactly. It is not all about looks. Looks are superficial because looks keep on changing. Now, for example, today I'm looking at it keeps on changing. I'll tell you how. One live example. It is one night into marriage. For example, accident happens, something happens. Your looks get totally destroyed. You leave that person who you're married to.
Looks is this very big story about a celebrity who was married to his wife, but
Don't talk about celebrities. Several celebrities are not relevant. I'm talking normally.
no. So the wife, she was in a very bad accident. Went up there and a house on fire and the entire skin got burned and everything.
Viva. This is the movie of Viva.
I don't know. So her entire body was burned, and then she
The
takes the
story
water.
is Viva, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
That is the story.
So
Where
she
he was gets married.
पूरा social media से करने लगा कि अरे ये ऐसे दिखने लगी अब उसका husband छोड़ दिया लेकिन वो अभी तक शादी नहीं।
See, that's what I said. Looks are, it is transient. That means one day you're looking good when you look handsome, and but one day the next day you, like you go old, you go haggard, and you are going to go old and haggard. It's not that because as I said, circle of life. If you are young, you are going to be old. There is no doubt about it. You'll grow up, you'll become old, your face will be wrinkled. Botox also takes a toll. They look very artificial.
Yes.
And then to maintain that Botox every week you have to take that injection. It's not something very easy. It's very easy to take. Yes. So all this every week they have to maintain.
He's asking what is Botox.
Botox is to lift the face lift. Give face lift.
with those smiley that
बहुत मॉडल है उसमें
तो
रोटीज में डाला है
the one more the bigger the half.
So it's basically like that.
It's last type of
Wrinkles come.
It's to make you look younger, but ultimately it happens that it takes a toll on your body because of chemicals. That's chemical putting in, like you're putting injecting some chemicals in your body, and ultimately it takes a toll on your
And
body.
they get mixed with blood.
Mixed blood and all.
They get
फेस के ऊपर लगा रहा
ना.
है फेस के ऊपर लगा रहा है तू
Injection है injection है.
It's an injection.
अरे ओए.
बोला बॉडी
Yeah, lovely insults we have tried. This one racist insult that to the core. It's a racist insult, by the way. Both of you, your whatever insult you get is racist insult. So coming to the fact is beauty is transient. It will not stay. It will not last. It has to that. So what basically you look for in a relationship is true love. That means you look for the qualities in a person which you will know that you will survive. And why do when one partner passes away now, especially in your grandparents' face, you see that person feels very lonely and they feel very sad and dejected because they cannot survive with the other partner because for so many years that partner was the support system. So that is what he's talking. It's a beautiful poem. It's a very deep meaning poem to understand. He says ki, like the person who likes you and you reject him and he loves you only because of your beauty, then that is not true love.
That is just infatuation.
That is not true love. It is not. True love is not about attraction. It is about when the person loves your inner quality. As I said, it is like it happens, and in real life it happens that when you get married and you this one is something unforeseen happens, and it may be the beauty of the person gets destroyed. You are not going to leave that person if you love the person with your heart. That is a deep need. It's loud. You will not understand it how deeply it has to be thought about. But when you become a marriageable age, and especially when you're actually planning to get married, and if you plan to get married, search for a companion. You know that even in my even at my sickness and my health, that person will be by my side. That kind of love you have to search. In olden days, it was not because it was arranged marriage that they lasted. In olden days, they found that companionship and they learned to love the qualities of the person. They love to learn the qualities. That is what important is. So this is brilliant here. This one Butler Yeats poem is very beautiful poem, by the way. So for Anne Gregory, this is William Butler Yeats, and it's a very popular poet. Yeah, Yeats it is. Yeats. So William Butler Yeats is he was 13 June 1865 to 29 January 1939. Was an Irish poet, one of the most foremost figures of the 20th century literature. So he is from Ireland. Okay, and you have, especially when you talk about Ireland, you have the skill what they wear and beer.
Potato.
A pillar of both sides of Irish and British literary establishment in later years. He served as an Irish senator for 2 years. So he was a senator in the government also. Yeats was the driving force behind the Irish literary revival, and along with Lady Gregory,
Anne Gregory.
uh,
Is Lady Gregory Anne Gregory?
we are assuming Edward Martin and others founded the Habit Theatre where he served as its chief during its early years. In 1923, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature as the first Irishman. So the honor for what the Nobel Committee described inspired poetry, which is highly artistic form, gives expression to the spirit of a whole nation. He was the first Irish poet to win, by the way. generally considered as one of the few writers who completed greatest work for being awarded the Nobel Prize. Such works include The Tower, The Winding Stair, and other poems. He is a very good poet, this one, good friend of the American expatriate poet and Pulitzer Prize winner Laureate Ezra Pound. So Ezra Pound and Yeats were good for this one. Expatriate means they travel from place to place. Okay. He wrote the introduction to Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali. He wrote the introduction. Rabindranath Tagore wrote the poem Gitanjali. To introduce that, he wrote the summary, which was published by the Indian Society. The poem. This poem is a conversation between a young man and a young woman. What are they arguing about? The presented poetry piece for Anne Gregory has been composed by William Butler Yeats. The poet brought out the difference between loving someone for external beauty and the inherent inner beauty. You know, a person may be very simple looking, but the inner beauty, the kindness, that love, that caring nature, those are the qualities which you should cherish rather than the looks of the person. A look of the person, looks never last. As I said, the world is round. If you are born, you are going to die. There is no two ways about it. So looks will never last, but the qualities of that person is what will make your life happy. Without those qualities of a person, you will never be happy. People go for beauty standard, social standard, look, look, outward appearance and all that, but that is not lasting. One day you're famous, the next day you are not. Right? If you talk about that, like you talk about even actresses, there is still a certain age that actress gets film. After a certain age, the actress doesn't get film. Why? Because she's gone old, and she get mother's role, she get sister's role, she will get auntie's role, all the roles, but she will not get the main heroine role. Like in beauty standards, also men have this one. Shah Rukh Khan is 50 years old, right? He's his heroine is maybe a 20-year-old or 18-year-old.
Yes.
So that is how biased society is. Men can play a 18-year-old college boy and 50 years old. Amir Khan, 3 Idiots. He was 40, 45, I think so, when he played an 18-year-old college boy in 3 Idiots.
And how old was Kareena?
Kareena Kapoor was in her 20s. 20s. So that is beauty standard. Understood? It's total bias. So he says you shouldn't love a person because of the looks, rather love the person because of the qualities. And we ignore the person who's very quiet, who doesn't look nice, who's very simple looking. No, you ignore the person. But that person may be a very beautiful soul. No, you look for later in your life, you look for somebody who has those qualities which will hold your hands and take you forward. You don't look for the looks of the person. You look for that person who's going to be by your side in the worst to worst scenario. The poem is a conversation between a young man and a young woman. They were arguing about each other regarding the real beauty that lies in her. So she said, you have blonde hair, and the boy will be attracted for blonde hair. Then she said, why over this one? I will change my hair. I will change it to blue, like yellow, red, or green. I can change my hair color. Then he will not love me for that. He will love me for my inner beauty rather than my outer beauty. So that the poem is written for A. Gregory, who might have to have gold hair, the young man of lies, love appearance, and not the real person. Okay? Convey that human beings are incapable of seeing beauty in the beauty. Most of us, as I said, first thing when I asked you, I said, what do you admire? You say looks. Because that's what he says. Humans are incapable of seeing the inner beauty. Okay? They give importance to external or physical beauty. Only God loves us for ourselves, irrespective of what we are. That is the only true this one. He doesn't judge you for your
Well, I think, yeah.
what you are doing for so long. Okay? So what does the poet say? That God doesn't judge. God is not judgmental. God will love you as you are. There is no, like, he doesn't have any kind of standard there. The poet has brought out the difference between loving someone for external beauty. Okay, so what he's done, he's got the contrast, the opposites of it. So he said, loving someone for external beauty and the inherent inner beauty. The poem can be summarized in the following: state of despair. The young man says we have been thrown into a state of hopelessness by the woman, great honey-colored ramparts of the year. Ramparts of the year is this. Okay, so that. For her year is compared to the ramparts or a wall built to defend the castle, having a broad top to walk on. Castle walls, you remember the fort? You have this rampart which is protecting the inner walls, right? The wall which is outer wall. And on top it, the soldiers used to walk, or they would put the cannons there, on the ramparts. So that. This is your rampart. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is your rampart, this is your, like all these four corners. Can you see all these four corners?
Yes.
So this is the wall which is protecting, and that is your rampart walking. Got it? This wall is the rampart, all these four, whichever the walls are, rampart. The young woman says that she can get her hair dye and dye her hair in brown, black or carrot color. She wants to do so because the young man in despair may love her for her own sake and not for the yellow color of her hair. Because she has yellow color of her hair, he fell in love. He said, but I will color my hair black or yellow or green or whichever color, and then he may love me. Because she wants him to love her inner beauty rather than her looks.
What is the hair color of the plant?
That is the poet is drawing that very attention that external look shouldn't matter, beauty should matter. So then he says, young man says he heard an old religious man announce solemnly the previous night that he had found a passage from the holy book to prove that God could love the young lady for her own sake and not for her yellow hair. So in any books it is written that God loves you for your sake. It does not love you for your appearance. Understood? Yeah, Dipanshu, go to sleep, Dipanshu. I'm singing a lullaby. The way you behave as if I'm singing a lullaby and actually it's beautifully like that. It's not footprints in first life.
First line?
Quite greatly poem, na?
Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh of Silk, yeah.
Your can't sit straight. Na?
Look what he's doing.
So what you do, he's doing what you are doing. That first see what you are doing.
Not there, but he's putting his hair behind him. Now he's spitting on the head.
He's spitting.
Sure, na? Hi,
So never shall a young man thrown into despair by those great honey-colored ramparts of at your ear, love you for yourself alone and not for your life. So it is never shall a young man who's thrown in despair because of the honey-colored hair, what you have. He says,
What is despair?
despair, I just don't use the same word on you.
hopeless.
And look there only, page number, tell me.
77.
You should always learn to deduce the meaning from this. So, what did he say here? 77 you said, na?
Yes.
Okay, so Anne Gregory. So what does he mean here? What does he mean? He says that any men who love you for your golden hair are only loving you for your physical beauty and not for your inner beauty. Right? So that's what he is telling in this. See, in the stanza, and poet has thought that men who only love her for a physical beauty, she says if men who desperately fall in love her for a golden hair, she would dye her hair brown, black, and carrot so that she wouldn't appear attractive to them physically and wanted to be loved for her inner beauty and not for a. Okay, then I'll skip to the second stanza.
Page number.
Okay, so he says, and the poet advises and
Page number.
77 to watch out for men who love her only for physical beauty. I told you the whole lesson point revolves around that. She said because they will love her for her golden hair. She has yellow color.
Please.
And he advises that you have to look out for a man who really love you for yourself. So her response is, but I can get a hair dye and set such color there, brown, black or carrot, that young men in despair will love me for myself alone and not for my yellow hair. So first he said, they will love you for a yellow hair, and she said, I don't want somebody to love me for outer beauty, I want them to love me for inner beauty. She said, I will dye my hair. So that they do not fall in love with my hair, but with me. Understood? They will fall in love with me. And yes. And then he said, I heard an old religious man yesterday declare that he found a text to prove that only God, my dear, would love you for yourself and not for your yellow hair. So he said, in the entire world, you will find only God loving you for yourself, but human beings are incapable of loving you for yourself. Because that love you want to love is kind of a spiritual love. And that spiritual love is only found God will have love you like that. No other person will like that. If you find love like that, then you're extremely lucky. You will be the luckiest person in the world. Remember that, because we look out when we grow older, we look out for companionship. You look out for somebody to support you. Your parents will be there, but some companion will be. And when you get married, you have to see some person who you will know that I can spend my rest of my life with. And it is very rare love, because you always look for the outer beauty rather than the inner beauty. And human beings are so shallow. So that's what the poet is also saying. That kind of love what you're searching and gradually searching, so that you will not find it anywhere except by God, because God loves you for who you are rather than for your beautiful beauty. Okay, so that summary is given here. That's why we say like Mother Teresa. Why we adore Mother Teresa? Because her love was selfless love. She didn't care that whether she was getting infected by the disease or she took care selflessly without bothering about herself. And that kind of love, as I said, is very rare love. And if you get that kind of love, your life is set. Because we are very materialistic. We are very materialistic. We run only after material things or looks, as we said. We don't go for the inner beauty. There may be a child in your class who's been, you have never got the chance to know that child because you ignored that child. That child is very simple child and that child, but that child may be a very beautiful child inside out. But you have not taken that time to know the child. So that is his reality. Because that's what the last line is such an important line. See, humans can love a person for their physical attributes and not for their inner self. That's why this is a very meaningful poem. If you have understood this poem, any conclusion with this? First stanza, she said the boy, he's telling her that people will love her for her. Yes. Understood? Asta, first stanza, people will love her only for her physical beauty. Second stanza, she said, I will change the beauty standard. I will change the beauty standard so that they love me for my inner self. Third stanza is that that kind of love what you're looking for is found only by God, because God will not judge you for who you are, but He will love you for who you are. Whatever person you are. Whether you are ugly, whether you are crippled, whether you're this one, but God will love you equally. Every
But not
person,
if you're a bad
God will love you even when you're a bad person. It's not that enough because you are God's creation. If He didn't love you, you wouldn't have been created. As simple as that. So this is what it is. So He said, whatever you are, God will love you. And when human beings are very shallow, they will not love. They cannot look beyond that inner outer beauty and physical attributes. Here, that's the poem. That now we do the proposal.
proposal.
Now proposal is a drama. That's why it is very very long. And
I was the father. This was done in the class.
okay. So what is the story all about? Tell me.
I don't know.
And you were the father and the main character, and you don't know what.
This hasn't happened.
Look,
Last class ma'am was just explaining the Russian wedding.
What is the tradition of the
It's very fun. Very fun.
So what is the tradition? Very fun. That is not one line I want.
Very fun. It's like very fun.
That is grammatically wrong. A lot of fun, very fun.
A lot of.
Okay,
Again, grammatically wrong.
That is
You
a
cannot,
lot of fun.
you cannot mix two languages. Must is a Hindi word. Or agree.
A Russian wedding. Do you know anything about a Russian marriage ceremony? Read this article about a Russian wedding. Preparations for a Russian wedding. A Russian wedding is very simple. The planning only includes
It
arranging
is like your Indian wedding, your Sangeet basically, and your marriage when you drop the shoes, and then this one they have to answer a question whenever they're climbing the stairs. If you have to not take the lift, you have to take the stairs. And every
Now,
pose
what
has
if he has
stopped.
asthma? What if he has asthma?
He wants to get married, no?
So what if he
Take
has
his
asthma?
bum and go walk. Simple. I know
It's not that easy, ma'am.
I know.
I took my bum, but I couldn't climb 3 steps.
So that's what I'm saying. We wait and he walk. It can be taken hours to whole day can take, but he has to get to the bride.
No,
And
that's
how you reach? You all four are not looking towards you and I'm ignoring you all. Didn't you all understand?
the planning only includes arranging for rings, bride's dress, cards, and a reception. Earlier, the bride's family paid for the reception, but nowadays, bride's and groom's family usually share expenses. A Russian wedding lasts for 2 days. Some weddings last as long as a week, and the occasion becomes something to remember for years. The necessary part of the wedding ceremony is the wedding procession to several cars. The best friend of the groom was likely before the wedding a few times, make posters, write speeches, and organize contests. When the groom arrives, he checks the bride for the registration. That's a fight to get her. Russians usually live in apartments in tall buildings, and the groom has to climb several stairs to reach his bride. But at each landing, he must answer a question to be allowed to go up. The bride's friend asks difficult questions, sometimes about the bride, sometimes just difficult riddles, and the groom must answer with the help of his friends. For example, he may be shown a few photos of baby girls, and he must say which one his bride is. If he guesses wrong, he must pay cash to move ahead. After the marriage registration, the newly married couple leaves the guests for a tour of the city sights. After 2 or 3 hours of the city tour, the couple arrives at the reception. The couple sits at a specially arranged table with their family, friends, and invited guests. The reception starts with toasts to the couple. A wedding toast is a custom where a close friend or relative of the groom or the bride says a few words to wish the couple. Then everyone raises their glass of wine and drink it up at the same moment. The groom is then asked to kiss the bride. After a few toasts, people start eating and drinking and generally have fun. After some time, the bride gets stolen. She disappears, and when the groom starts to look for her, he is asked to pay a fee. Usually, it is his friends who steal her. Then
Yes, please.
starting role play. Then there are the bride's friends. They steal the bride's shoe. Groom's shoe. The groom must pay money for the shoe too. The guests enjoy watching these castles and continue partying.
Yes, this is what happens in your Indian marriages also. Yes, yeah. You steal shoes in South Indian marriages. The groom is said to you run away from here, go to which Tirtha Yatra, and then plead this one parents, bride's parents plead don't go, don't take brahmacharya, you come back. So this, and if you see, Russian is an amalgamation of your different Indian communities also. Even if you're talking about the shoe stealing part, you have it in your marriage ceremony, the shoe stealing part. Understood? Even when you're talking about bride stealing, it's basically they remember when the Varmala happens, they pull the bride far, like they pull it, or the groom they will pull it, they go higher and higher, the garland type. So there are various customs, and there's also similar to us. Or we have similar customs to them. But it is fun. As I said, this one Russian custom. But again, it was, if you see, this is a very family oriented, this one. The rituals and the traditions. Custom similar and different from yours. You have, no? In your custom, you have this shoes, so definitely you have. Brahmacharya or something, they send him to go away the brides.
I've been to South India, but it's a brahmacharya thing.
So there is one of the
Brahmacharya, what is a brahmacharya?
Not brahmacharya, he pretends to leave the marriage ceremony and go and take, sannyas, something like that.
One of my mama's wedding, we stole his shoe. And we
I'm not sure in which, whether it's Tamil or Kannada or this one, but Malayalam.
During my mama's wedding, ma'am,
I'm already. So I'm during a mama's wedding, we dug a big hole with the backyard. Then we hit his shoe up, and we were all very young, we were 7, 8 years old. So we forgot what the shoe was. So per person we took 2,000 rupees, and then my mama and then we lost it, and then he had to wear slippers, and then afterwards the adults started looking for it, and then they finally found the shoe.
What about in your mama's wedding?
During that Varmala exchange, like the people who were carrying my mommy, they were like doing like this. And my mama threw the Varmala on her like that.
And then it went around her neck or fell down?
It went around her neck, and she was crying because that she was so
scared of the height. Poor thing.
During I was in the wedding, but there was some wedding, and they were like pulling the bride back. So then the fire that her dress got lit on fire, and then everyone सब लोग चप्पल मारे तो fire को extinguish करके गए और पूरा सब dress आधा जल गया था.
Alright, Dipanshu,
the proposal originally titled A Marriage Proposal is a one act play of farce by the Russian short
what does
story.
farce means?
Farce.
A mockery, or it is like a lie. It's a lie.
A farce by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov.
Farce to show how marriage ceremony became a fiasco. Farce is a fiasco.
Chekhov.
You understand what is a fiasco?
No, ma'am.
Somewhere vocabulary or increase or vocabulary.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then Chekhov ने वो भी The Beggar लिखा था ना?
The Beggar.
Last year, The Beggar. Takes a common dramatic work using buffoonery and horseplay, and typically including flute characterization and ludicrously improbable. I can't see.
Improbable situation, like it is a mockery, it is a travesty, it's a sham, it is a fiasco.
And the ghost.
He is basically making fun of the Russian marriage ceremonies, all that. Come on.
It was written in 1888 to 1890.
And why did he use? Because he wanted to make fun of the wealthy families and their pretentious life.
1889.
Everyone makes fun of the wealthy family.
Not necessarily.
play is about the tendency of wealthy families to seek ties with other wealthy families to increase their
Ambani's with versus this.
Yes. Radhika.
Radhika
Why
versus.
why Russian short for to increase their estate by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Ivan Lomov, a long-time wealthy neighbor of Stephen Shubukov, also wealthy, comes to seek the hand of Shubukov's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. All three are quarrelsome people and they quarrel over petty issues.
Yeah, so he's come to seek hand, but all of them fight amongst each other. Quarrelsome, they love fighting with each other. And for every petty issue, the smallest issue, they can fight with each other. Okay.
The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling, but
Yeah,
economic
the real reason for that, like is marriage, proposed marriage, they forget about that nearly in between the quarrel now.
good sense ensures that the proposal is made after all, although the quarreling perhaps continues.
So these are your main characters.
Yes. Yes.
So Stefan is a landowner, Natalia is his daughter, she's 25 years old. Ivan is a neighbor of Chubok, a large, hearty but suspicious landowner. Okay? Chubok's house, huh? Chubok's house. Lomo enters, wears a dress jacket and white gloves. Chubok rises to meet him. Typical, they will wear white gloves, they wear a dress jacket, the formal wear, what you talk about that. Dress jacket is like your blazer. Okay? Read.
My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilevich.
Vasilevich.
I am extremely glad. And now this is a surprise, my darling. How are you?
Keep that mobile here, otherwise I'll take it away and I will not give it back.
Thank you. And how may you be getting on? We just get along somehow. My angel, thanks to your prayers and so on. Sit down, please do. Now you know you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your getup? Evening dress, gloves, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure?
Okay. So the way he's rich, so oh my God, I this one. Vasilevich, I am extremely glad, and he's actually not glad at all, but he's shaking his hand and saying, now isn't a surprise, my darling, how are you? Thank you. How may you be getting on? What do you mean by that? How you may be getting on? How are you? Means how are you in health or how are you doing? How are you getting on is how are you doing? We just get along somehow, my angel. Thanks to your parents and so on. So thank you for your kind words. There's just kind words like that. Sit down, please do. Now you shouldn't forget all about the neighbors. If we are neighbors, we shouldn't forget. And he has a habit of saying, my darling, that is his way of addressing. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure? So he's being he's using endearment left, right, and center. What are endearments? My darling, my sweetheart,
My treasure,
my dear, all those are endearments.
I have come only to see you, honest Stephenovich. Then why are you in evening dress, my precious? As if you are paying a New Year's Eve visit.
Yeah, because you dressed up in New Year's Eve, right?
Yes.
So you see why you dressed up like that.
Well, you see, it's like this. Take his arm. I have come to you, honest Stepanovich, to trouble you with a request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help. And you have always, so to speak, I must ask your pardon. I am getting excited. I shall drink some water. Honest Stepanovich.
So you're not getting to this one. They are both pampering. It means praising each other in order to get. He means he's praising him because he wants to get something out of him. So he's continuously praising him for him. So, Tamil did not once or twice have already the privilege of applying for your help, but now you have always, so to speak, I must ask your pardon and getting excited. I shall drink some water, honor Stephen. So you have already helped. He is back. He's praising him to get to the point. Yes. And then now the real picture comes out.
So both are being very, very polite, and they're praising each other, and they're like, when you do that to your parents, you do to your parents will immediately ask, what do you want? Now here he's thinking to himself, he has come to borrow money. He says, I shan't give him any, I will not give him any. What is it, my beauty? And then what is going on in his head and what is coming out of his mouth. The flowers are falling from his mouth, but snakes are rolling in his head. It's like that.
Aside, he's come to borrow money, shan't give him money. Allowed. What is it, my beauty? You see, honored Stepanich, I beg pardon, Stephen Honorich. I am awfully excited, as you will please notice. In short, you alone can help me, though I don't deserve it. Of course, you haven't any right to count on assistance. Oh, don't go around and round it, darling. Spit it out, well. Spit it out, well. One moment, this very minute. The fact is, I have come to ask the hand of her daughter, Natalia Stepanovna, in marriage.
Yeah. So that was his intention, that he wanted this one, but he's going round and round, and you can see that is a foreshadowing. You automatically come to know that the intentions may not be honorable as such, because the way he's behaving, he's saying, he's come to ask money again. I'm not going to give him money. So he has this kind of. You already had the idea that there's some type of tip developing. It is fight. Yes, quarrel. This is something you have an idea, foreshadowing, and you get an indication that something is going to happen. They are not being very, very neighborly. Though they are speaking in flowery words, they are not very neighborly with each other. Understood? You find that. So he says, that's why don't go round and round. And he says, one moment I want to come for the hand of your daughter. And then he's very happy, now because both of them are landowners, both are belonging to the same this one class, right? Wealthy class.
No. Take it a bit this side. We can't see them.
Let me reduce it there. By Jove. By Jove is an expression, okay? He says, I'm vassal rich. Say it again, I didn't hear it also. He's very excited. Oh, he'll come to ask for the, my daughter's hand. I have the honor to interrupt him. My dear fellow, I'm so glad and so odd. Yes, indeed, and all sort of things. Embraces and kisses, no. He says, I will not give him money, I shan't stand him, I will not this. And suddenly he says, oh, I cannot. He's asking daughter's money. Yes, I've been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire. And he sheds his tear. Yes, I wish that you had asked. I've always loved you, my angel, as if you are my own son. May God give you both his help, his love, and so on, so much. Oh, what am I behaving in this idiotic way for? I am off my balance with my joy. So I'm talking like crazy man because I'm so happy in life. And I'm absolutely off my balance. Oh, all my soul. I'll go and call Natasha. And all that.
Her name is Natalia or
Natasha same.
Painting.
It's Russian English.
Yes, it's Russian English. So, honored Stepanich, do you think I may count on her consent? No, that is a tradition. You have to ask the father first for the this one girl's hand. So that's why he says, will she give consent? Will she agree to get married? Why, of course, my darling, as if she won't consent. She is in love, egad. She is like a lovesick cat, and so on. Shan't be long. So she's in love with you. He'll say, she's in love and she's like this cat who's lovesick. Have you seen a lovesick cat? No. It's an expression. It's not really a lovesick cat.
It's a lovesick cat.
Lovesick cat is basically cat. It keeps on rubbing your leg and going rubbing your swan cheek,
Rubbing your nose,
being very cutesy because that person wants something. Cats are very neat, like that. So she says, Natalia is this lovesick cat. She will definitely get married. I'm cold, I'm trembling all over, just as if I've got an examination before me. The great thing, I have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or for real love, I will never get married. So his intention is not love marriage, huh? His
For
intention,
property marriage.
and it is very cold. Okay, he's feeling that tension because he's getting cold feet. Well, I'm not married for love. I'm not married I don't want to look for a great deal. It's not real love. Then I never marry. Natalia Stepanovich is an excellent housekeeper. Now, this is the reason why he wants to get married to her. She's an excellent housekeeper and not bad looking. Average looking. Yes, well educated. What more do I want? So this is his real intention.
He's 35 and she's 25.
Yes, but I'm getting. Oi, 10 years doesn't matter. Priyanka and me.
Matters.
When they're celebrating in real life, it's very
Excuse me, in real life also there are a lot of incidents where there is an age gap between.
It's minor name.
Yes.
अरे वो आलिया भट्ट और वो है ना
And what about Kareena Kapoor and Saif Ali Khan? Beta, old age is 50 years old, 50-year-old man.
अरे बोली
50-year-old man got married to a 20-year-old girl.
50 years.
Up till now there is marriage, sorry, not in olden days. There is.
बाल विवाह in Rajasthan there is बाल विवाह.
That is also there, and sometimes widowers are there now. They get married to young girls.
And you know, my neighbors, that was to live a long time before. The auntie, she was 21, and they had a 5-year-old daughter, and the uncle, he was 19. और बहुत मारते थे और डालते थे तो बच्चों को परेशान कर रही है छोटी बहन को
That is what word is what chi.
No, ma'am, like case of beauty and everything. And the landlord agreements there.
Alright, so see, that is the reason. He says, and I'm getting a noise in my ears from excitement, and he drinks. And it is impossible for me not to marry. In first place, I am already 35, a critical age, so to speak. Critical age, because after 35, it's very difficult to get right. In second place, I ought to, and this is giving reasons for why he wants to marry her. I ought to lead a quiet and regular life because she's a good housekeeper, so she'll make sure that my life is very comfortable and loving. I have suffered from palpitations. Palpitations is heartbeats. Right? So I'm excitable and always getting awfully upset. So at the drop of the hat, he gets very upset. Okay, so that kind of temperament he has. He's talking about temperament. At this very moment, my lips are trembling and there's a twitch in my right eyebrow. So that is his nervous reaction. When he's very, very nervous, that is the reaction. But the very worst of all is the way I sleep. I no sooner get into bed and began to go off, when suddenly something in my left eye gives a pull and I feel it in my shoulder and my head and I jump like a lunatic. Lunatic is a mad person. Walk about a bit and lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there's another pull. And this may happen 20 times. Now imagine somebody sleeping next to him. And he's sleepwalking throughout the night. How uncomfortable that person is. Anybody snores also, you get so irritated. Imagine the person twitching and jumping on the bed and then getting up and walking and again coming back and going to sleep. So it is all this fault, but Natalia doesn't know this. So it says, yes, I better get married. Natalia Stepanova, comes in. Well, then, it's you and Papa. Go, there's a merchant, come for his goods. How do you do? I will. Vasilovich. Now here, it's you. Papa said, go, there's a merchant, come for his goods. Papa told her, go, there's a merchant, come for his goods. So what is Papa calling her? Goods. Yes, what are goods? Property or things.
Goods are goods.
So my dad is telling me to be a gold digger. Good is property, good is things. Good strain.
But property.
1 minute. Good strain you heard. You heard about it. Or I'll give you good strain you don't know, which you use for transportation. On the railway station that big brown.
Strain.
अरे good strain होता है ना.
वो strain.
Train is another awesome idea.
Not that.
Goods मतलब सामान.
Which awesome idea.
So here he says, go there, the merchant come for his goods. Now understand the context.
Yes. These columns are goods.
So,
And the goods of the merchant.
so who's the merchant here?
Ivan.
Ivan.
Loma Ivan.
Lomov is his name and Ivan is Ivan. This one is his. Anyway, so he says, go, the merchant has come for his goods. So merchant is Ivan and goods is Natalia. How do you know Ivan? How do you honor Natalia? And also formula. You must excuse my apron and negligee. We are selling fees for negligee is night gown kind. Night gown kind of a thing. But she's not wearing a night gown because she's wearing a house clothes. So she said, please excuse my negligee.
That was negligence for not dressing.
Negligence is different. Negligee is the and she's wearing apron. We are selling fees for drying. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. Won't you have some lunch? So she's a typical, taking care of the house. And in those days, they used to take care of the house and look after their father's house, when the girls used to look after that. After the marriage, they look after their husband's house. So she was doing housekeeping at that particular time. No, thank you. I have had already. She said, I have had lunch. Then smoke. Here are the matches. So it will be like this hostess who's taking care. Remember, he says she's a very good housekeeper. So she's taking care of him. So, okay, you have had that, so why don't you smoke? This also talks about during those days, what was the lifestyle of the people. After lunch, they would smoke cigar, they would smoke something to that. So then smoke. Here are the matches. The weather is splendid now, but yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you stacked? So this talks about landowner. They are talking about the farming this. Stacking hay is done when it is harvesting time, right? So she's saying, and she should take care of the house. So she said yesterday they didn't do any work because it was raining most of the time, but today, they are doing. So how much hay have you stacked? That thing I felt greedy.
Sorry, ma'am.
Let me complete this dialogue. Just think I felt greedy and had a cold feet cut, and now I'm not at all pleased about it because I'm afraid my hay will rot. So yes, I felt greedy means I decided to cut my whole hay. But what happens if you don't see, if the weather is bad and you cut hay, your hay will get spoiled. It will catch fungus and all that. So he says my hay may rot. Rot is rotten. I ought to have waited a bit, but there was this. Why are you in evening dress? Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or something? So she's also saying, why are you dressed in a formal dress? And are you going for a ball? Ball, we just did ball.
Yes.
Dance. Though I may say you look better, tell me why are you got up like that? So he said, why did you come like that? Okay, and you can go now. Go.
Thank you, ma'am. No class tomorrow.
No, you all have this, what you call it?
Exam.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you have, but this they have come.